opening face-off here. It'll be the sophomore Dylan Smith for Fairfield and Mike Sisselberger for Lehigh. Opening face-off of the season. Smith, a sophomore as a freshman last year, 2 for 7 from the axe. Sisselberger won 63% of his. This one's still loose on the defensive end for Fairfield. And it is still loose on the far side, finally picked up by the Stags. It's Braden Lynch who comes up with the loose ball for Fairfield. Starting lineup for the Stags in attack: Jack McKenna, Max Paparozzi, and Bryce Ford in the Tiernan, the third starter on attack for Lehigh before the Muley goal. Back to the face-off X we go, and Sisselberger wins this one easily. Lehigh back on the offensive end. Muley tosses behind him, and it's intercepted by Antonio. He singled out Jake Gilbert as a guy he thinks can really put up some big numbers this year. He's off to a great start as we are tied at 1. Face-off one once again by Lehigh as Raul Ocho Terrena comes up with it. It's going to be Dylan Smith and Sisselberger once again, and a face-off violation called against Mike Sisselberger will give the ball to Fairfield against Lehigh. And Sisselberger gets a clean win this time for the Mountain Hawks. Still with Sisselberger, driving all the way to the cage, now goes behind. Sisselberger takes the shot, and it goes wide of the mark. Picked up by Zach Antonio. And that one's under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Mike Sisselberger, the star face-off man for Lehigh, starting his 5th year with the program. Head coach Kevin Cassis thrilled to have him back for a 5th year. Of course, getting that extra year due to COVID, and Sisselberger career winning over 60% of his face-offs. Got up close to 70 a couple of years ago, best in the nation. Last year was at 63. And Kevin Cassis says he has seen a hungrier than usual Mike Sisselberger. So last year he was not happy with the 63%. Had a target on his back as the top face-off guy in the country, and takes that shot right there, goes wide of the mark. It's backed up by the Mountain Hawks. Back at the face-off X, and it's a face-off win for Fairfield. That time, John Wheat coming in and getting the loose ball. A big hit there, and flags flying. That's his 43 goals last year, which is 5 short of a program record, as a violation is called against Dylan Smith. That'll give the face-off win to Lehigh. Final minute and a half of the first quarter here. So all tied at 4. We head back to the face-off X. Just a tremendous goal from Tiernan, who just reminds you how dangerous he can be when he's on the field. Lehigh really missed him in the early part of last year. His first 8 seconds of the first quarter will get underway as we get set for the face-off. It'll be Smith and Sisselberger again. And a face-off win for Sisselberger and Lehigh. Going to get a face-off violation, a hold against Sisselberger. Will give Fairfield the ball. Army, Navy figures to be really good. Loyola, Maryland, always a contender. And Lehigh, with this man at the face-off X, can be pretty much anyone, although he's called for a violation there. So that'll give Fairfield the face-off win to start the second quarter. Shot, save made by Pecora, and then Lancaster goes sliding into the crease. Played last year, Schelling was one of the top assisters in the country. Cole showing that he could do the job as well right there. And Smith and Sisselberger fight for the face-off, and it's Mike Sisselberger who comes up with the face-off win. Sisselberger using that huge and powerful lower half to win those face-offs. Also a member of the Lehigh wrestling team. Ulay, nice feed, and Tiernan has another. That one. And just like that, the Mountain Hawks have taken a 3-goal lead. Lehigh known more as a defensive team last year, but with their entire starting defense graduating, they actually have more experience on the offensive end this year. And they regained. So far, it's been advantage Sisselberger, 9-4 on faceoffs. And make it 10 as Sisselberger wins that one. Still with Sisselberger. He rips his shot, and the bouncer goes over the top of the crossbar. It's backed up by been teaming up all day long on the offensive end as we head back to the face-off X. And this time it's a win for Fairfield. Let's see if they can take advantage. McKenna puts it in. A quick strike from the Stags. It's Jack McKenna. And that ends a 6-0 run for Lehigh. McKenna with his second of the day. And it's now 9-5 after the quick strike from Fairfield. And back to the face-off X we go. Smith and Sisselberger, and Mike Sisselberger overran it. He had a clean face-off win, sticks with it and gets it anyway. It really could have caused some damage had he picked that one up in stride. And it'll be the Lehigh. Back to the face-off X after the goal from Procaccini. And it's another win for Sisselberger. Sisselberger trying himself, and the dive going to be against Decker, so it'll be an extra man opportunity of 2 minutes for Fairfield. Stags winning the face-off, and the officials on the far side talking with the coaches. And this face-off won by Fairfield. Face-offs have been 12-7 in advantage of Lehigh. Fairfield winning the last couple, though. This time, it's Raul Ocho Chirena who comes up with the loose ball for Lehigh. Mountain Hawks on the offensive end, making the coaches look smart as he picks up a hat trick here in game 1 of the season. Face-off won by Fairfield. Stags looking to move quickly. Here's number 10 with 3 goals and 3 assists so far. Fairfield will win the face-off. Pass it back to the goalie, Consoli, and his pass for Antonio ends up over the head of the defenseman. Violation committed on the face-off by Dylan Smith will give the ball to Lehigh. Still out for another minute and a half. So it's another EMO here for the Stags. And we're up 2 men, now only up 1, and They win the faceoff. It just shows you how good that Sisselberger is, that he was able to make it that tough of a victory. Faceoffs 14-10. Fairfield winning a bunch of them lately because of the Lehigh penalties. This one at even strength, and Lehigh comes up with it, but first a violation called against the Mountain Hawks, so it'll be Fairfield who gets the faceoff win. Fifth year, part of that starting first line midfield, and he's on the board with his first goal of the season. Sisselberger winning the ensuing faceoff. We got just over 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. We'll get things started here at the Faceoff X with Mike Sisselberger and Dylan Smith. Sisselberger has won faceoff so far 15-11. We'll see who will hit the offensive end first here to start the fourth quarter. Two face-off guys tied up, and when it's a tie-up like that, it usually ends up in a win for Mike Sisselberger. Just so strong, using that lower half to get the face-off win. And Lehigh now look to get onto the offensive. Tackman have notched a hat trick here in the opener. Justin Tierden has 5 goals. Scott Cole is 3, and now Christian Muley with 3 as well. Muley also has 6 assists to go with that. A 9-point game for the senior. What a season opener it has been for the senior. The ensuing face-off is won by Lehigh. It's Timmy Curlin coming up. They have Mike Sisselberger at the face-off X, who has won 18 of 29 face-offs for the Mountain Hawks, make it 19 of 30. As Sisselberger continues his dominant day, taking face-offs. Still with Sisselberger. Just a tremendous talent for this Stags team, and a piece for Andrew Baxter to build around as he continues to build up this Fairfield program. Stags really played well in the first half, and it's dropped off a bit here in the second. Playing a tough CAA conference that to the face-off X. And it's a violation committed by Lehigh. Sean Dow getting a look at the face-off X. And face-off won there by Ryan Hamburger. A junior taking the face-off for Fairfield.